There's this day I called my taxi driver to tell him where I was so that he can come and get me. And when I told him of the place, he was like, "My brother, that place, very dangerous. Me, no help. No help. Very dangerous." Please stick around to get the long part of the story of what got me to the most dangerous place in Bole, Ethiopia. Sit back. Hey. There are no greater evenings that I love than the evenings when the moon is out. Yeah, right there, that is the moon. It's coming out. So yeah, after a great long day, I get home pretty early today. I need to prepare my dinner, and then within the dinner preparation, I'll give you a story of one of my most adventurous evenings. I stopped taking bread. I stopped taking wheat stuff. So what I normally take nowadays in the mornings are fruits. So I do replenish my fruits. Mostly it's bananas and apples. I remember on the previous video which I explained about the sugars. So in my endeavor to run away from the sugar, I opted to only do fruits in the morning. I am also doing some pancakes now that I'm becoming better at it. So I got some milk and some eggs just to be doing that. So that's for pancakes, which are for another day. These are chapatis, which they sell here in the supermarket. So I got some, which I need to make some relish for. With the relish, I'll be doing some minced meat. This I also got from the supermarket. I think it is a ShopRite. So with that, I also got some green peas. So I'll do the green peas. I'll mix them with the minced meat, and I also have a bit of vegetable mix which I need to mix with the minced meat and the green peas. So that will be my supper. So I'll be doing the green peas. So from where I come from, we call it minji and minced meat. Na chapo. I need to do utensils first. Then we can start the cooking. So as we start, we will go right into the story. So in Addis, oh my, these utensils have taken long. So let me give a bit of a background. In Addis we have sports bars, we have nightclubs, and then we have regular bars or regular clubs. So the sports bars, most people frequent them when there are sports. So when you need to go watch, they have put up a lot of screens in there. So you find when there's some important games, you find those places fill up, and those are the days they do very good sales. If there are no sports, then you find in the regular nightclubs, the screens don't have footballs or sports showing. It's just screens which scroll. I don't know what they scroll. Go TV advertisements, I think. So most of the time you find there are sports bar where people go to watch sports, and then there is the nightclubs which open at 4, and then there is the regular bars where people can just go and sit. So nightclubs open at 4, which is 10 p.m. And then the sports club mostly they'll be very operational when there's a game going on, and then the other ones the other ones just be regular places where people go to sit and get some beer. So there's this night I'd gone to watch a match. I'd actually gone in the afternoon. I had called my taxi driver and told him, please take me anywhere where I can spend my afternoon. So, but I had told him to take me a different place. He always knew where I used to regularly go, so he opted to take me to a sports club. So I went there, and I remember I sat there the whole afternoon. I think I watched 2 matches. The only thing I remember is I watched a Chelsea game. There was a Chelsea game, and I think it was a heated game. So I sat there. The games flew by. I think I started watching in the afternoon at about 2 p.m. And the games were getting done. I think the games technically got finished at about 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. So at 8:30 p.m. I decided now I need to leave and probably go back to my hotel where I was staying. So as I leave, in my hand I was carrying my iPad Mini 3. I had an iPad Mini 3, and then I had an iPhone in my pocket. In my pocket also I was carrying some $300. The intention of carrying the $300 was to get change, was to talk to my taxi driver. In Addis, you have the black market. You have where they change money for you legally in the banks or in the hotels, or there is some black market where they give you with a better rate. So I used to talk to my taxi driver, and he would give me the local change, which has some better exchange rate. So I had carried the $300 for him to change for me. And it was in my pocket. Nobody had seen, because I was paying. I had some other money, which I was the local bill, which I was carrying and which I used to pay in the sports bar. So as I leave, as I am just walking, so something crossed my mind. I decided I just go spend some time at some nightclub, which obviously opens a bit late. It is called H2O. So I decided I was not very sure geometrically where H2O was from where I was, but I had the general direction, so I knew if I go towards that side, I would not be very far from it. I would eventually trace it. So I start to walk, but I had not even gone very far, because I had to walk to Eden Mall. There is a mall called Eden Mall along the road that comes from the airport. And then from Eden Mall, I was to branch off at some point, and I knew that direction I would generally get it. So I start walking, and while just immediately I start walking, I walk out of the club, out of the sports club, and then I just start walking towards the main road. So there's a bit of a stretch there, and while I'm walking, some guy catches up with me, and he just go ahead and said, "Hey, how are you?" In Ethiopia, I'm not used to just somebody walking up to me and talking to me in English. Actually, when I'm in Ethiopia, people will easily talk to me in Amharic, because I think I have a bit of a resemblance to the locals. So this guy, once he starts talking to me in English, already a trigger comes through. But I notice it, but I let it flow. So I'm like, "Yes, hi, how are you?" Oh, then he says, "Jambo." Then I'm like, "How did you know I talk?" I even asked him, "How do you know I know Swahili?" I am not. Oh, okay. I remember. I think within the sports club, I think the waiter or somebody sold me out to him. Maybe it is an arrangement they have or something, because it is easy to know a foreigner, how they converse and something like that. So when he came to me, when he said hi, I think within that engagement, he asked me, "Where do you come from?" And I told him I come from Kenya. And he was like, "Jambo." Then I was like, oh, okay, Jambo. Then I asked him, how do you know Swahili? Then he said, I know a bit of the words 1, 2, 3, so not a problem. So in that engagement, because I'm still walking, I'm trying to distance myself from him, but he's also trying to keep me company. So he goes ahead and asks me, so where are you going? No, first he asked me, did you like my club? And I am wondering, is that really your club? But he was very neat. He was in a suit. He looked very formal. But in my head, I wouldn't understand why the owner of the club, or even if it is the manager, he's checking out, and the place is not completely closed. Yes, everybody walked out after the games, but he kept to be keeping up with me. So it didn't add up again, but you just play along because you can't ask such questions. So we start walking, and I'm telling him, okay, yeah, it was okay. I enjoyed it. It was nice. Then he's like, so where are you headed now? I told him I wanted to head back to where I'm lodging, but since I feel like it is a bit early, I felt like I can pass by H2O and then spend some time there, and then later go home. Then he goes like, but H2O is not open right now. I told him, yes, I know, but first I wanted to trace it to figure out where it is properly. Then I can hang around the area before it gets open. So in my mind, I was to hang around, so maybe find a place to eat or something until the place is open. So he tells me, oh, don't worry. Let's do this. Let me I have a place on the way as you go to H2O. And I'll even show you how you get to H2O. So to me, I'm like, okay, it might be a bit easy. So he tells me, I'll show you, but why don't we pass by my club? And then it's a small joint. We can be there, 1 or 2 drinks, and then after that, we can go together to H2O. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, probably I can waste another hour and then I can go. So we go. We keep each other company as we talk. I don't remember what exactly we were just yapping about. In my mind, I'm like, okay, probably because I know he's telling me he's taking me to another club, like another joint of his. So it's a place, like in my mind, I didn't figure out what it was about. So we go and we get through this gate and this like own compound gate, and we get in. And first thing I noticed, there's a bungalow, a very well lit homestead. And we try to enter through one door, and I hear a woman inside say something. Then he tells me, we've been told to use the other door. In my mind, I'm wondering, I thought you said it is your club. But then there wasn't even anybody apart from the lady who spoke from inside. I didn't know what was going on. So we get in through the other door, and we get into this sort of a big living room area. And he tells me, sit there. And I start wondering, where is this I'm at? Like, if it is his club, why am I the only guest in the club? And then there were some bottles that had been placed there on display. But I don't know how it even looked like. But anyway, I sat, and in my mind, I'm just waiting and looking around and wondering what's happening. So he disappeared into one of the doors, and I'm just waiting. Then he comes back. Then he says, would you want a lady? I am surprised. I told him, no. Then he says, you can even get 2. I'm like, well, it's not today's plan. I was going to H2O, remember? Then he's like, no, don't worry. There are even rooms here. In my mind, I'm like, like it is starting to come at me so fast, and I don't know what is going on now. Then he says, okay, wait for me. Then he goes again. Then after about 5 minutes, lo, and behold, the door opens, and a stream of 10 ladies stream in through the door, dancing And one of them, the lead one, was holding like a Bluetooth speaker with some music on it, and they were dancing. And they got into the room and they started dancing around. So these ladies start to dance around, and then they just move around the room, and they were making a big circle. They placed the Bluetooth speaker on the ground, and they started dancing around. In my mind, I am not understanding how I'm the only guest in the room. There are these 10 ladies dancing. This guy comes and sits on the opposite side, and then there is a woman who comes and sits on the other side closer to the display. So they dance for about 2 or 3 minutes. They are dressed, they are okay. They just like young girls, maybe college girls. So me, I'm just perplexed and just looking around and wondering what is going on. So the woman stops the music, and then she comes and tells me, okay, she says hi. Then she introduces all the ladies by name. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. I don't even remember the names. Then she tells me the ladies want a drink. And this is where the story catches me off. Immediately I get a flashback. There's a time one of my friends was in Addis Ababa, and for some reason he sends a certain message to a common group we have, like a church group. Let me call it a church group, WhatsApp group. So he sends a message, but then he deletes it so fast. But that message had an indication that he was in a certain area where he had an encounter with some ladies that were dancing, but he had been told that those ladies can blind him and rob him. But he sent the message and then deleted it immediately. So that message just flashed at the back of my head. And here I am in a secluded room, home, which has even a compound. It has a gate. And I am inside a house which I don't know anything about, with 12 strangers, and the ladies are there dancing, and I am on my own. So while this is flashing in my mind and I am being told the ladies need a drink, in my mind I am asking myself, how do I save myself from this situation? So I asked the lady, okay, how much is the drink? In the meantime, they had brought me a drink, so I had asked for something to drink. So I asked, how much is the drink? The lady tells me it's $100. Remember, I have $300. In my mind, I'm like, I think I need to get out of this place alive. Like, I need to get out alive. So I'm like, okay, I will buy. So I say I give out $100. At this point, I don't even know how they got to know I had money in my pocket, but I think since they knew I'm a foreigner, they knew I would want to save myself. But in my mind, because I have that background idea that a friend of mine had posted such a thing, I already knew that I needed to save my behind. So I remove 100 from my pocket and I give out. This lady goes and comes with a bottle that looks like a Moet bottle. I don't know if you know the size of a Moet bottle. It can't even serve 10 people. So, and I'm sure it had water. I don't think it had anything else. I think it had water. So she goes like she's serving to all the 10 in some glass, of which it is a very small portion for each. They all seem to drink it immediately, and we continue dancing. They start, encouraging me to dance with them. They start, in my mind, I was robotic. I was worried. I was scared. Then they pause the music again and they tell me the ladies want another drink. At this point, I go like, now I think I'm getting into dangerous zones because even my money, I run out of my money. And this money is my money, which I need to use for the rest of the week. So I've actually carried it so that I get. So funnily, in order of priorities, what was important to me so much was my iPad, and then my iPhone, and then my $300, and then me. So in this situation, I started feeling like once my money is done, they'll take hostage of my iPad, then they'll take hostage of my phone, and probably I'll be the last to be dealt with. So I had started protesting. I had started protesting that I would like to call my driver. But this guy was very hesitant. He was like, "No, you don't need. You're having so much fun." But then they keep pulling me. Let's go dance. Let's go dance. And when I stand up, my eyes were just looking at my iPad, which I had placed on the table. Then I was looking at my drink so that they don't put anything in it. Then they're dancing me around. This lady after this lady after this lady. Just generally just dancing and dancing. And then, and they were just playing those Amharic songs. Then, since I protested so much, so I was like, before I buy the second drink, I have to call my taxi driver. So eventually my protests were heard, and I was sort of allowed to, because the guy was protesting for me not to call. He kept telling me, no, you don't have to, don't. But eventually he agreed, and I dialed the taxi driver. So I dialed him. He asked me, game's finish? Then I'm like, yes. Then I told him, please come and pick me. But I told him, I'm not at the sports club. I am somewhere else, but I am not very sure where I am. So he asked me, where exactly are you? I told him, I don't know. Please talk to this guy. So I passed the phone to that guy, and the guy, they talk the language. Then he passed me back the phone, and the taxi driver told me, my brother, where you are, very dangerous. Me? Don't help you. Then I panicked. Like, now I was completely worried. Completely. Then eventually he says, but me, send my brother. Me busy, me send my brother. Then I said, okay, please hurry. So that gave me some comfort. And then now I started looking out for the guy to come. So by now I had gotten a bit of confidence now that I had talked to the taxi driver. So as I waited, I was like, because I felt like I was buying back my life. So I was like, okay, you can give them the drink, but I will pay after the taxi guy comes. So what I tried to navigate around, I had told them that I had given my taxi driver some money to change for me. So I'm waiting for him to bring me, and that is what I will use also to pay. So they got the drink and they kept dancing me around, taking me round and round. And then after a few minutes, the guy called me and said, my brother is outside. So I insisted to this guy that I really needed to see the guy outside so that I also collect the money. So we went out of the gate, we walked some distance, then I went and I saw the driver. I told him, I am in that gate. When I go back in that gate and I take more than 10 minutes, please come and pick me. I talked a lot and I'm not sure what he got because he was not very fluent in English like the guy who sent him, but I thought he understood. Then I spent some time. The other guy was just at a distance waiting. After I felt like He was convinced to wait for me, and if anything, he should come for me. I went back in, now a bit more confident. But when I got in, I was sure I was not gonna go through the door. I will stay outside the door. So when I went back, I said, I just want to pay and leave because I don't even have any more money. So again, I had to part with another $100. So I'm remaining with my 100. The good thing is, after I paid, they seemed to understand and they let me go. So I left and I went to the cab and I was so relieved to leave. Remembering the story that my friend had posted a while back and the what I was imagining would happen to me, I was really scared. Anyway, I later came to learn that these things, there's some arranged thing that they do with university students, or maybe some idol girls, I don't know. So on weekends they collect them and put them in a house. It's not a legal thing; it is sort of an illegal thing. So they collect, like on weekends they go there, and then these ladies, some of them will make money, like it's a massage house. Some of them will be in a group which will consist of people who will rob you. It just depends, but these things apparently are a lot there. So there's actually some locations where you will go and it will be very, very unsafe for you. The arrangement will be the same. They will come, they will dance for you, they will create an atmosphere that you're being entertained, but you either get robbed or you lose a lot of your money. For me that day, I felt, because it started by me wondering, why am I the only guest? And then all of a sudden, 10 ladies are dancing around. And then this guy keeps, insinuating things. Oh, don't leave. Oh, just stay another 50 minutes. You'll see more. Oh, you want one, you want two. We have rooms here. You don't have to go. And in my head, I'm like, I really don't want. Even if you are giving me half a lady, I don't want. Like, I just want to go. And apparently, that is the only time I felt very unsafe in Addis. There's some petty crimes. I will give other stories of some petty crimes that almost happened to me. But generally, to me, Addis is very safe. But that is the only day which I felt a bit afraid. I felt scared. I felt like I wouldn't see home, or I wouldn't get out of that place safely. Eventually, my plans to go to H2O already evaporated, and I really just wanted to go home. So out there, be safe. The truth is, yes, there is such things. Sometimes it's good to be adventurous. Like for me, I think I'm adventurous as long as I feel safe. But when I now feel I'm not safe, now I'm not adventurous. Now I'm scared having to go home. If you like such stories and many more life experiences, I'll give some other silly ones, some interesting ones. Feel free to subscribe, to like and share. Put your comments down there if you have also such experiences or what kind of stories you want to hear. I have a lot from where I grew up to where I am today. So thank you for listening. Enjoy. I think my food is ready. I'm just about to serve. And as I serve, I want to invite all of you Alpha Beta Giants to my dinner. Alpha Beta Giants. See you in the next. Adios, muchachos.